Carolinas, even parts of the Deep South. Lindsay Davis, ABC News.
And the so-called I-40 storm rolling through Middle Tennessee. News 2's Justin Bruce is on the road along Woodland Street in East Nashville. Justin?
Yeah, that's right, John. Thank you very much. We are over in East Nashville. We've been here all day kind of patrolling the streets, watching the roads, and I tell you what, just in the last half hour, we have noticed significant amounts of snow finally starting to collect on the main roads here. We're driving actually down Gallatin Road, technically Main Street. Usually, you would be able to see the tall buildings of downtown ahead of you. Obviously, we've got some low visibility, and I tell you what, for 4 o'clock in the afternoon, not a lot of traffic. Many offices around East Nashville decided to go ahead and shut down early. As I mentioned, though, the main roads over here haven't really been a problem so far today, but temperatures right now are in the mid-20s. The snow still not letting up. So in the last half hour to 45 minutes, the road conditions are deteriorating quickly. Again, you're looking at a live picture from our mobile camera, and we will continue to patrol the streets just east of downtown Nashville over the next several hours, and we will report back to you. But for now, as folks have been saying, if you don't need to be out on the roads, we recommend staying indoors and just enjoying the sights of the snow, because it will be treacherous to drive later on this afternoon and this evening.
Now, your News 2 Storm Tracker forecast.
You can still see the snow flying here on the News 2 City Cam. It's coated the ground. It does look like the roads are mainly wet right now. The salt really working, but as Justin was alluding to, it's going to get a lot worse tonight before it gets better, and that may not happen until sometime Sunday or Monday. This is a look out at one of the TDOT cameras, and you can see here around Briley at Dickerson, the snow a little bit heavier on the roadways as well. You can see the grooves where the cars have sort of cut a path through the slush, and a lot of that, of course, is just going to pile up and get even thicker as we go through the night. So traffic very slow. If you were able to move around today, don't necessarily think that that means you'll be able to move around tonight and early tomorrow. It's just going to get worse. Let's look at News 2's Storm Tracker, and this is why we think it could get very tricky out there tonight. They had some pretty heavy sleet and snow amounts down here south of Nashville, 3-5 inches already, and I know we've been calling for the heavier amounts to be north of I-40. That heavier snow for those areas coming later on tonight into the early morning Saturday hours. But now, south of Nashville, this pink meandering line, it sort of bounces around, is some of that warm air trying to push up from the south, and it's causing freezing rain in some of these spots where you may already have some snow on the ground. But, of course, that icing that can occur with the freezing rain can be very dangerous. It can not only cause problems on the roads, but power lines and that sort of thing. Tree limbs can come down. So we're going to be watching this area of activity as it actually moves a little bit north tonight. Now, that's not going to be the end of our snow system. That's going to be a temporary thing out there this evening. We're going to map it out with Predictor. Here's a look at 6 o'clock. The blue indicative of mainly snow. And notice we get some white spots here where it's just cloudy. We may see some breaks in the activity, in the snow activity for a time. And this northeastern corner, you're just going to have to be patient. Later tonight, tomorrow, you'll get a more significant snow there. But some of these areas down to the south, this is where we're going to be worried about more and more icing over these next 4 or 5 hours. And look, as we go to 10:30, that line moves up to Murfreesboro through Columbia, where you've had some heavy amounts of snow and sleet. Centerville looks like it's going to move up your way by about 10:30, and it could do so a little bit faster. But notice it gets all the way up into Nashville, so we could see some of the icing here, maybe even over to Dixon, over into Mount Juliet and Gladeville. So we're going to watch this area south of I-40 very carefully for these next 4, 5, 6 hours tonight, because freezing rain could really cause a problem. Now, it will lower some of those totals because it's going to compact what's on the ground. It doesn't pile up like fluffy snow does. But watch what happens as we go through the overnight. We watch that freezing area move to the southeastern corner around daybreak Saturday, and the snow takes over on the backside. The low is going to be pulling away. The colder air will be able to pull in then, and there should be enough moisture left over to get us some pretty decent snows overnight into early Saturday, sort of off and on moderate and light snow, and eventually you'll see some of those snow showers in the southeastern corner. You're just not going to get as much snow down there out of this system. It will clear out Saturday night, and the bottom drops out temperature-wise. Many areas will get down into the single digits. So light snow right now in Nashville. There is some freezing rain mixing in the southern counties already. 26. It feels like 16, but that's just what it feels like to the human skin. It doesn't have anything to do with it freezing freezing on the roadways. And at the 26-degree reading and the temperatures tonight, the salt will work, but it just depends on how heavy the precipitation is as to how hard it gets to drive on those roadways. So through the evening, ice in the south half, that could lift north toward Nashville 10, 11 o'clock, and then the snow starts to really pick up in intensity after 11, and pretty moderate to heavy snow through the early morning hours. Temperatures will waver from about 28 to 30, maybe even 32, 33 south of town. Tomorrow, moderate to heavy snow early, and then we taper off to just occasional snow showers with a strong northwest wind at 10 to 15, about 29 for the high. Maybe the southern counties, southeast especially, could get into the lower 30s. 9 tomorrow night, sunny on Sunday and Monday, very cold still. It'll take a while to get rid of this snow and ice, and even by next Wednesday evening, we may see some snow showers before rain on Thursday and Friday.
And Lisa, we have some pictures sent in from viewers. Let's check them out. Some snow here, Murray County Regional Airport from Ashley Parish. You can see a lot of work to do there. How about some snow in Laverne? This is on the deck from David Dillon. You can see maybe about a half-inch or so. Max and Macy Wardlaw also sent this in. No school. You got to go outside and play in the snow, right? Nashville Opera Center. This is in Sylvan Park, as you know, and that looks kind of pretty. And then here, this is from D. Robin France in Summertown, Tennessee, along, it looks like a creek or a ravine there. And you can send us your winter pictures or video to pics, that's P-I-X, at WKRN.com. And News 2 will be going on the air tomorrow morning. We'll preempt Good Morning America for continuing coverage of this weekend's winter storm. Tune in at 6 a.m. Join Jeff Ray and Neil Orrin for live reports. That's tomorrow morning.
A couple hours of snow falling, and across the southern tier, mainly just sleet and freezing rain. So you're not going to get much more this evening in Savannah. An inch or so on the ground by 6 o'clock. 2 in Lawrenceburg. Much more where we had that jackpot today, as much as 7 inches on the ground by that time in Columbia. About 4 in Nashville, 4 in Dixon, and lesser amounts up toward Portland, about 2 by that time. More snow moves in tonight for a good part of Middle Tennessee. And so from 6 p.m. tonight until 12 noon tomorrow, this is additional snow that will fall. So another 4 inches overnight tonight in Nashville, 4 more in Dixon, 7 more in Clarksville and Portland, 6 more in Gainesboro, but just another inch or so first thing tomorrow morning down toward Lawrenceburg. So again, in parts of Middle Tennessee, we will be approaching 10, 11 inches when this thing is said and done. Lisa?
All right, looking outside right now, and we have just a little blanket of white that is starting to form across the area. Latest conditions coming in out at the airport look like this. We are seeing 26 degrees, some light snow showing up, and our wind chill is at 16, barometer at 30.16 and falling, northeast wind at 12 miles per hour. Well, Dan was talking the variation in precipitation that we're seeing. Let's talk about how that happens.
I think it'll be great.
Yeah,
and it's a Friday night. You know, it's not first thing Monday morning.
That's right.
So
Enjoy
the timing's good.
That's nice. We're going to have more winter weather coverage. We're checking in on Clarksville. I believe that's what we're looking at right here. That's when we come back. We'll